So when you go back to London to run that marathon again, and I mean at that point it's not like you're surprising anybody. They know who you are. They know to look out for you a little bit, but you run even faster.
Yeah, I was coming off, a big win at the Olympic trials,
Yep.
which was another one of my career highlights. And I think a lot of those guys were running the New York City Marathon the next day, and they kind of saw me run there. And I think they kind of knew that I was starting to come around a little bit. And so, yeah, I wasn't surprising a lot of guys, and I just went with the pace, and the pace was crazy. It was way faster. We're on world record pace through halfway. Our third mile was 4:26, which was just stupid, yeah. But it's like you just got to go with it, because there's 15 guys going at that pace, and like if you want to get in the top three of those guys are going to hold on, and like you said, it's very difficult to fall off and come back, and that's what I had to do in that race. Even they got away from me at 14 miles. Again, my heart got the best of me. I go up to the pacer because the pacer goes through 20 miles, which is really nice. And I told him, I didn't tell him because he doesn't speak English, but I just go like this, just tell him to keep the pace going, because I saw my watch, and I saw like mile 14 was like 4:49. I was like, oh, it's too slow. I was feeling good, and so I was like, let's keep it going. And it's, just the same like crazy group of runners, and then they throw down like a 4:30 mile and drop me, and so I was like, that was total stupid rookie mistake.
Go faster, pick it up.
Yeah, and they dropped me, and then, but I worked, same deal. I worked my way back up into the race by the 20-mile mark, and gave it another shot, and then they got away from me with like 3 miles to go and ended up beating me by a little bit, but I finished fifth. And it's funny when you're running 2:06 and you have to convince yourself you're running well because the guys are running away from you up front when, in years past that would have won the race almost every single year.
I'm going to say there's not many races you can run 2:06.17 and not win.
Yeah, I mean, the marathon's really changing, and I think it's time for us as Americans either to rise to the occasion or we're going to have to start running U.S.-only races or something like that.
Yeah.
These guys are putting it up to a different level, yeah.
Well, actually, mentioning that, the perception. We've talked a little bit about this before. I mean, there's a perception, at least there was a while ago, that, like you said, A and B. The A is, the Ethiopians, the Kenyans, and the Americans are maybe B and C. And you've seen some of that. I know you were at a race down in Puerto Rico, and then even before Boston. People have this perception that Americans can't be competitive.
Yeah, it's like everywhere. It's on the radio. Like the day before Boston, I'm getting therapy, and we're watching the Boston Red Sox game, and it's just on TV, just kind of background noise. We hear the announcers say, hey, the Boston Marathon's tomorrow. Like, who do you think's going to win? They're like, I don't know, but I'm sure it's going to be an African. And I was like, come on, man.
How about a little something for the effort? Come on.
Yeah, I know. No love at all. So I think we really just got to keep putting ourselves in those races, keep going out with those guys. That's what a lot of these African guys do. They go out, they put themselves in the race, they really go for it. It doesn't work out 9 out of 10 times, but then all of a sudden they hit it, and then it becomes easier to hit it again and again and again. And we just have to keep putting ourselves out there.
In Boston this year, you took third and had, right from the gun, you took the lead and pushed the pace, and it was like, I don't know how much planning was in that, but there was certainly a good message there that I'm not here just to sit in. I'm here to show you what an American can do.
Yeah, I think, having watched the race last year, I noticed that everyone was just kind of watching one guy, Robert Chariot, who's won I think 3 or 4 times,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just watching to see what he's gonna do, and he's just totally dictating the race, no matter if he's sitting in the back or if he's in the front. They're just running his race, and I think that's a mistake. I think we all got to run our own race out there, regardless of where we are in the competition. Like, my coach gave me some really great advice. He's like, just be you out there and be the best you can be on the day, and everything's going to be fine. And so it's like, if my personality is to go out there and push the pace and make it hard from the beginning, then go out and push the pace. Don't worry about it if it's Robert Chariot and all these guys who've run really well. Like, go out and be you. So that's what I was trying to do.
And throughout that race, it was one of those things where the surging seemed pretty intense. In being a taller guy, it seems like the wind was something that was a little bit of a problem out there.
Yeah, the bummer about Boston is you're just going one direction, So if the wind's against you, it's against you the whole way. So after 6-7 miles of taking the wind, I decided that it probably wasn't going to be a good idea to lead the whole thing into the wind. So I had to kind of adjust my plans. And then, once you slow down, it kind of puts some juice back in everyone's legs and allows people to do some surging.
Sure.
And, the African guys in particular love to run that type of race. So they threw down some crazy hard surging. Yeah, at times it felt like we were running a mile race. It was intense.
And you went out and pre-ran the course. You ran the last 20 of that course. Was it a couple months beforehand, just to get a sense of it?
Yeah, it was like a month before.
And did that help you on race day?
It definitely helps to see a course before you race it. I think more from like the training standpoint, if probably the most from that standpoint, because I go back home and I run courses that simulate those last 20 miles, and then just being able to visualize the course, I think, is huge. So it definitely helps a lot to have run the course. I mean, it's best to have raced the course before.
Sure.
So going back again, hopefully next year or whenever I end up doing it again, I'll definitely run it a lot better, I think, having raced it before.
You mentioned that for Americans to be, consider the best, it's important for someone like yourself to be in the races that are under the biggest spotlight, that are on the biggest stages, and win those races. New York, Boston, Chicago, London. That seems to be in your head that it's, hey, I can go, jump into a Portland Marathon and win some stuff, but you want to go head-to-head with the best guys in the world.
Yeah, I just feel like it gives me the biggest platform, to get to share with you guys, to get to, make an impact with what I'm doing. Because, at the end of the day, I'm going to win a few races maybe, and, I want to leave a lasting legacy is what I'm trying to do. So we're trying to figure out, both my wife and I, how we can inspire other people to run for a cause.
Right.
Like we love Team World Vision, and we've gotten involved with them. We've gotten to go to Africa, see the work they do over there, and there's tons of great charities out there. So I'm just trying to encourage people and find a way to better do it, but to run for a cause. Because it's brought so much more meaning to my running, and I want to do the same for others.